Japan for the 11th round of season 12 in Division 1. For Formula 1, and as a matter of fact, both championships in F1 Total could be decided right here tonight. Which means he needs to extend the gap by at least 3 points. Meaning that if the gap between Kart Racer and Felix stays at 26 or lower, after this race, Kart Racer will become a 3-time world champion in F1 Total. Same goes for the Constructors' Championships. Kart Racer's team, Aston Martin, could win the championship tonight because they only need to gain 10 points on Mercedes, so that the gap will go to a maximum of 44 points after today's race. Because both in the drivers and in the constructors, if the main two contenders are on a tie, so that they're on equal points, let's say they go on equal points after the last race, Kart Racer and Aston Martin have more race wins, so they will win the championship. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting tonight, despite still having the classical Division 1 attendance. It's unfortunate, but yeah, we'll make it go. We'll make ourselves enjoy the race, as we'll see the two main contenders fighting for the championship. We'll stay on board with Felix for now, completing the first lap of this qualifying session, as I'm gonna do a commentary of the lap. While he drives in his Mercedes, going into turn 1, flat out on the initial part, and then braking, and then into the famous S's, taking a lot of curb for Felix. I'm staying very close to the inside, then to the left-hander, which is the Dunlop curve, and then we're approaching the end of sector 1 with a 31.1. Now into the diagonal curve 8 and 9, as you see the Alpine getting out of the racing line so that Felix can go through, and now into the hairpin, very close to the inside into the banking, and then to go on the outside at the exit, and now this very fast section, and now approaching the spoon curve. Very difficult one. It is very hard to get it right at the absolute limit, and then after the spoon curve we are on another straight with no DRS. Sector 2 is about to end. It's a 1,010.5 and now approaching 130R easily flat, and then the last chicane, also known as the Casio Triangle, and it looks like a good one for Felix, and then onto the final corner with DRS. There's an Aston Martin behind him, and it is Kart Racer, the champion, the reigning champion, which could secure his title today as well, and he's starting right now. For Kart Racer, we'll enjoy the normal camera view. We'll not stay on board with him. We'll just see the car flowing around the corners. As in the meanwhile, Marco D'Acco, reserving for tonight for AlphaTauri, sets a first lap of 28.2, very far from Felix, but it's a first lap, he can definitely improve. Kart Racer with a 31.2 after the first sector, so actually 1/10 slower than Felix, at least for now, because we know his qualifying pace, very often up there for pole positions. Now after the hairpin and approaching the spoon, this is also a very easy section to invalidate the lap. I mean, it's difficult because you could either lose traction because either of throttle control, or I don't know, taking too much curb. In the meanwhile, Kart Racer 10.4, so I think it's faster. It says purple on the minimap right there. Now approaching the chicane, we'll see. Is he gonna be ahead of Felix? Yes, he is. It's at 26.9. Not exactly a very big gap, so Felix is definitely up there, unless Catracer obviously improves his provisional pole position up. Kevin right now sets himself in P3 with a 28.0, so almost exactly 1 second away from Felix. He's 1 second and 5 thousandths away. So who else we got? We got Jeremy now approaching the spoon. So Phantom just asked me to invite him since he can join right now. He couldn't join at the start of qualifying, so I'll invite him now. Where is he? Oh no, my Phantom Fox is joined. There we go. Now that I think about it, I'll lower the volume just a little bit. There we go. Alright, so I missed the end of Jeremy's lap. He sets himself in P3 with a 26.3, 4 tenths from his teammate and 3 tenths from the Mercedes of Felix. So no one is pushing right now. We're just waiting for the drivers on the out lap. Pinky reserving tonight for Alpine. He's starting right now. And then behind him we have the Mercedes of Nemesis. So Pinky right now at the S corners. In the meanwhile, we can see Phantom has joined taking control of his McLaren. He is now into the pits. Pinky finishing sector 1 with a 32.3, so already 1 second off the main contenders for pole position tonight. And in the meanwhile, Nemesis is set 31.3, okay, so perfectly up there in terms of pace. There is also a Ferrari in front of Pinky. I think that was Jonathan, but he got out of the way cleanly. Peace Willie is pushing on a hot lap right now at the SS. So Pinky on the straight, about to finish sector 2. It's at 12.5. It is very off. He needs to find a little bit more time. What about Nemesis? 10.7, or very close to Felix and Jeremy. Pinky, yeah, 29.1, so he must have done a mistake somewhere because that's not usually his pace. As I predicted, Nemesis sets himself in P3 between Felix and Jeremy with a 26.224. We can see Phantom Fox in the McLaren, Pinky going on the grass a little bit. Phantom Fox in the McLaren on the out lap. So in about a minute he will start his first lap of tonight's qualifying. PC Willie is about to finish one right now at the chicane. We'll see where the Ferrari can place itself, and it's P5 with a 26.4 for now. Half of qualifying is done. We have 8 minutes and 45 seconds left, and we still have 3 drivers with no time. Jonathan being one of them, but he's pushing right now. Phantom and Paco still needs to start the first lap. So Jonathan right now at the spoon, not taking quite a lot of curb. I mean, the ideal racing line will take quite some curb, not pushing a lot, but still taking some curb because that's the ideal racing line. I'm guessing Jonathan wants to play it safe to complete at least the first lap. Jonathan across the line, P6, 26 tenths behind his teammate and just 5 hundredths ahead of Kevin. Phantom is about to start, so the McLaren driver is on the main straight right now. As he approaches for the first time of tonight the S section. Paco still has no time and is still on the out lap, and he's at the spoon section. Phantom hesitating a little bit with the throttle through this section. A very aggressive taking off the curb through the Dagder curve. Now onto the hairpin, braking all the way, very close to the inside, and then on the other side, oh, a little bit of a oversteer moment, almost into the wall, but he saved it. But that's definitely cost him some time for his lap. Now onto the spoon, almost within track limits, not taking quite. Oh, that's very extreme, very close to the white line, but his line was quite compromised through this section. It's an 11.1 after sector 2. Now after 130R there is still the chicane left. He needs to get a good exit if he wants to salvage his lap, because he needs to correct those mistakes in his next lap. But it's still enough for P6 with a 27.7. So if he corrects his mistakes in the next push lap, he can definitely gain some positions. Now we see the Aston Martin of Jeremy, Kart Racer's teammate, again at this spoon curve. So Jeremy about to finish his second lap. And it's at 10.3, improving by 3 tenths and a half with a purple second sector. So Jeremy is looking very good right now. He could be ahead of Felix, maybe even ahead of Kart Racer if he improves the chicane even more. And we'll see right now, approaching the last corner, what's it gonna be? It's gonna be a provisional pole position with a 26.8. So Jeremy has temporarily, I mean maybe temporarily, put himself ahead of his teammate, fighting for the championship. So it was a very good lap from Jeremy. 26.8. Oh, and Paco already mixes up the standings a little bit with a 26.7. The Red Bull has put itself on provisional pole position, so Kart Racer needs to find 2 tenths if he wants to get the pole position and improve his chance of winning the championship tonight. So Paco and Jeremy looking very strong tonight, so I'm confident they will put quite some competition to the fast guys. I mean, they're all fast, I just worded it badly. I meant that they're definitely gonna compete a lot with the championship contenders, being Jeremy and Felix. No, not Jeremy, Kart Racer and Felix. We'll also see if Jeremy decides to do some decisive team play to secure his teammate and the team the championship tonight. I mean, we might see if he defends aggressively against both Mercedes, and especially if he back into the pit lane. And I think we have 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Jeremy retires, so he's confident that his lap will not improve. Now the only 2 cars on track are the Red Bull of Paco, going back to the pits, and Kevin. Kevin, I think is pushing, I don't know. We'll see in just a moment. Yeah, it's pushing, he's finishing a lap. So onto the DRS and improving by 127 thousandths, set himself into P8 with a 27.9. Just a little bit ahead of Jonathan. Pinky definitely needs to improve his lap because he's at 29.1, 9 tenths apart from Marco, and I mean, he definitely can improve. Oliver has joined, so we have another reserve going at the last minutes. Okay, so he definitely needs to complete a lap as soon as possible because we only have 3 minutes left into qualifying, otherwise he will be starting at the back. Let me see what team he is reserving for. I don't know, I think it should be Alpine. No, Alpine is full. I have no idea. It doesn't matter, we'll see later. So Kevin is going back into the pits. Marco and AlphaTauri on the outlap. Okay, so a lot of drivers coming out of the pit lane right now. Okay, so Oliver is joined right now in the Alfa Romeo. Okay, we can see a lot of traffic right now out of the pit lane and through the S section as drivers start their outlap to set their last time of tonight. But the driver most ahead of everyone will be the AlphaTauri of Marco. And I'm hoping he doesn't get impeded during his lap, but I mean I don't think so. There is still a lot of distance, a lot of road before seeing another car, so he should be fine. I'm just hoping that those gaps between the Alpine, the Mercedes, the McLaren, all of those cars that they hairpin, they definitely need to increase the gap if they don't want to have trouble during the laps. Anyway, Marco in the AlphaTauri, he's about to start his last lap of the session. 28.2, P10 for now, but I think he can challenge for P8, maybe even P7. So at the S section right now, at this very fast section of flowing corners, right one after another, which is also what makes this track such a beautiful track. It's a classic and also a very good track to drive on, and it's very fun. Marco is improving. Oh, he goes wide at the Degner curve. He was improving by 46 thousandths, but I think he might have lost all of the time gained going deep at the Degner curve. In the meanwhile, all the other drivers behind him are starting the lap. There's very big traffic at the last chicane, but Marco should still be fine. Now after the spoon, he's approaching the end of sector 2. We'll see if he managed to find that time somewhere else. No, he hasn't. He's down by 6 tenths, so I think that's his qualifying done. What else we got? Pinky improving by 5 tenths and a half almost. So Pinky improving on his big mistake on his first lap, but it still wouldn't be enough to overtake Marco. So he needs to find even more time. Marco Recciari in the pit lane. His qualifying is over. Pinky approaching the end of sector 2 on the straight, improving by almost a second. Okay, so very big improvement. He could be ahead of Marco, maybe even ahead of Jonathan after the last chicane. We'll see in just a few seconds as the Alpine is approaching the last corner, and he's gonna put himself in P10, improving by exactly 1 second, 28.1. He's ahead of Marco. Felix gets pole position with a 26.6. I completely missed that. Paco is pushing. No, he's not. He's retiring. What about Cat Racer? He's approaching the end of sector 2. He's the reigning world champion, gonna be ahead of Felix. He's improving by 3 tenths and 67 thousandths, so it could be enough. We still need to wait for the last chicane to see if the Aston Martin is gonna be ahead. Otherwise, Felix in the Mercedes is gonna put up quite a challenge to still stay in the title fight. But Cat Racer across the line, it's a 26.4, 2 tenths ahead of Felix. He once again sets himself on pole position. I'm sorry I missed that lap, but yeah, very big improvement, and it's crucial for the title fight. Felix right behind him. He definitely needs to challenge him during the race. So German 1-2, as we used to see a lot this season, with Cat Racer getting yet another pole position and Felix following in P2. Paco in the Red Bull with a very impressive lap sets himself in P3, and Cat Racer's teammate in P4 with a 26.8. Felix's teammate Nemesis in P5 at 26.9. Then we have PCWD in P6 and Oliver reserving for Alfa Romeo in P7. Jonathan P8 and fuck, I missed that. Wait, I can see it through the stream. Jonathan is in P8, Phantom is in P9, Kevin in P10, Pinky in P11, and Marco in P12 will start all the way back. So that's qualifying done, and Cat Racer is still showing himself very aggressive, very eager to get as many good results as possible, and the pole position is playing a part in that. The weather looks dry. I haven't seen the weather report from the drivers. but they haven't said anything, so I'm guessing it will be all dry. Which, I mean, it makes it a little bit more boring for the commentators, but definitely much easier for the drivers. We've seen also in real life Formula 1 what wet weather can produce during the races. I mean, it can produce a lot of exciting moments, but yeah, it is also quite dangerous, especially at a track where it is a little bit difficult to pass. I mean, you can pass on the straight with the DRS, but after that there aren't a lot of overtaking opportunities. You could go around the outside at turn 1 if you're brave enough. I'm sure these drivers, especially the top ones, could pull it off. They're used to make moves like this. Anyway, we're waiting for the start, drivers selecting their strategies and fuel as usual. And I'm guessing it will be the usual medium hard or hard medium. It's gonna be interesting to see the difference between the Mercedes and the Aston Martin strategy, because that could play a crucial part in the championship tonight, if it's gonna be decided tonight. If Kart Racer wins the race, he automatically gets the championship. If he doesn't win the race, he could be P2 and Felix P3. Kart Racer could be in P3 and Felix could be in P4. But if Kart Racer finishes 4th, then Felix would already need to finish 6th. But anyway, Kart Racer is not used to those positions. He's always up there challenging for the win, meaning that if he wins the race, even if Felix finishes P2, if Kart Racer wins, he will be crowned as a 3-time world champion in F1 Total right tonight. And Jeremy also needs to play a part in that, helping his teammate and also helping the team to get the Constructors' Championship. And I mean, to be honest, I'm hoping that it will be decided tonight, because it's Suzuka, a wonderful track, a classic track, where many championships have been decided. Because if we don't decide it tonight, we're gonna decide it at Kota, a track that, to be honest, I'm not really a fan of. It would be a shame to decide the championship there. I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah, the grid is not starting, so I might suspect there's a bug happening. I think Phantom disconnected. Yeah, I think Phantom has a problem. There we go, we're starting. A few problems aside, it's 5 red lights and it's lights out, and away we go for the Japanese Grand Prix. And Kart Racer with a good start. I saw the Alpine going a little bit on the grass there, but Kart Racer stays ahead in turn 1, and then Jeremy almost going side by side with Felix, but not quite. We can see already some moves with Alpine going, but they looks like they keep it clean towards the S section. But Kart Racer with a very good start. 4/10 from Felix. Oh, Felix spun at the exit of the S section. That's his race compromised so much. Oh, that's a shame. Felix, he just spun on his own. He just spun on his own on the Dunlop curve. That's terrible news for him. He needs to make a comeback tonight. He definitely needs to make a comeback. I mean, it's only lap 1. Safety car could definitely happen, but Felix needs to work from the back this time. That's unfortunate. So Kart Racer really needs to use this occasion. Oliver, in the meanwhile, had a mega start, already recovering up to P3, so he's showing very good pace, it looks like. Let me see the strategies real quick with the tires. So, okay, so interesting. Aston Martin is starting on the hards, Oliver on the softs, so very aggressive start. That could explain why he gained so many positions. Mercedes is on the mediums. I think, oh, there's a spin by the Red Bull. Paco, I think he may have spun out of 130R and that cost him a position. Oliver making a move on Jeremy on the main straight, so already using that tire compound difference. Nemesis is into the pits in the meanwhile. I don't know if that's a wing change, but Oliver is showing himself really aggressive on the first stint. We'll see Nemesis. Shit, I don't know if he changed the wing, but anyway. Kart Racer now needs to escape from Oliver. So Aston Martin is on a hard medium while Mercedes is on a medium hard. I mean, Nemesis right now is on the hard, so his strategy is compromised by pitting on that lap. I'm suspecting he damaged his front wing, so that's unfortunate. So yeah, terrible start for Mercedes tonight. I mean, the drivers definitely have the skill to make a comeback, to recover all of that time, but it's gonna be tough. But safety cars aren't out of the question. Oliver right now is staying dangerously close to the Aston Martin of Kart Racer. He's just using those softs as much as possible. Overtaking between the Ferrari, between Pisewilly and Jonathan, with Pisewilly being ahead in P4. Oliver is flying right now on those softs, setting the fastest lap and staying very close. And almost, I think they made contact. Oliver making contact with Kart Racer to still stay on track, but Kart Racer had a little bit of oversteer moment. I think he was very scary. That was very scary for him. Yeah, almost taking him out. Luckily they didn't, so Oliver is gonna look for an overtake attempt much later. Nemesis pitting again. What is happening on Mercedes? Nemesis already 3 laps in. His race is completely ruined right now. No idea what's happening. And there's a McLaren. There is Phantom Fox spinning out of Degner curve and losing position to Paco and Felix. That's unfortunate. I don't think the wing is damaged, but yeah, he's compromised right now. He has the softs, but he's a little bit far to use that compound in an aggressive way. In the meanwhile, Nemesis going out on the mediums, so 57 seconds behind Phantom. That's, yeah, he's not recovering. Oliver still staying very close. I mean, I'm getting anxious seeing how close Oliver is to Kart Racer's gearbox. Now with the DRS, so DRS is enabled since we're on lap 3, now it's lap 4, and then they go side by side at the main straight. Oliver taking the position on Kart Racer, so he's definitely flying on the softs, but they will eventually balance the longer this thing goes. So Oliver with a big oversteer moment, and he almost spins. He just has a big correction, losing positions. Jeremy almost overtaking his teammate. It's an Aston Martin 1-2, but how long is it gonna be that way? Oliver with a very big oversteer moment, going from P1 to P4 very quickly, but luckily he kept the car on track, not DNFing, not spinning all the way, but it was a very scary moment indeed. The grid is very stacked up from P1 to P8, so DRS games will happen in the following laps. The Ferrari of Pisewilly in the mediums, he's had a good start. Let me see the position change. Pisewilly recovering 3 positions, yeah, staying consistent, avoiding incidents, and that's what got into P3 for now. And also the tire compounds difference, the mediums will be slightly faster than the hards for now. We still need to wait for a little bit of laps for the tire wear and performance to balance out eventually, but Pisewilly is getting very close to the Aston Martins. Jeremy with the DRS, he might do the overtake on his teammate, and there we go, taking the position very cleanly, no point in defending. Jeremy leads the race for now. Felix and Paco battling. Okay, no, Paco just taking in position of Felix on the main straight with the DRS. And also Oliver spun, I think. Yes, Oliver is on the gravel at I think the same corner of the lap before. He just can't stop himself from making mistakes, and that's unfortunate. He lets Paco and Felix through, and that's his race. Oh, he lets also Phantom through. Yeah, that's his race compromised a lot. The two drivers starting on softs already had a terrible start, if we exclude Nemesis. Yeah, anyway, well, he sets the fastest lap, but that's definitely not going to be useful in the championship situation. PC Willy right now staying again very close to the Aston Martin. He's not letting the gap getting bigger than that, 2 tenths apart from each other. And oh, Paco retired. I think he just crashed. Yeah, he crashed out of the spoon, and we have a virtual safety car. The Red Bull of Paco is out of the race, hitting the wall at the exit of the spoon, and we don't have a safety car. We have a virtual safety car. Race is neutralized for now, and PC Willy is pitting. He's using the occasion to go from mediums to hards, so I'm guessing he will go to the end with this set of tires. Phantom Fox is pitting as well, changing those softs because yeah, they're getting worn out pretty quickly, and I think we will go on hards. Yeah, hards for the McLaren. There we go. And that's Paco's race done after only 5 laps. Oliver is pitting as well, changing from softs to hards, and also changing his front wing. But that's still not enough for Nemesis to recover. Okay, the virtual safety car has ended. So, wait, there is Alpha Tauri. Okay, Marco spun at the Dunlop curve. We're seeing a lot of spins. It's only 6 laps, and I'm already seeing a lot of cars going sideways out of corners. It just looks like they're struggling for grip. But anyway, Marco's mistake has allowed PC Willy to get closer to him. Oh, almost running into the back of him at the hairpin. And we have Oliver retiring, crashing out of... And we have a full-course safety car. Oliver has crashed at the Dunlop curve, and that has brought out the safety car. So it's a very, very great news for Nemesis, recovering all of those seconds behind everyone else. But strategies could be a crucial part right now. What are the Aston Martin gonna do right now with the safety car? Jeremy and Catracer are pitting, so double stack for Aston Martin. They might lose to the end with the mediums. Jeremy is, and we can see Catracer with his car standing still, losing a lot of time, but he's going on mediums as well. Okay, so Aston Martin looks like it's gonna go until the end with mediums. Despite the double stack, they didn't lose position, so hats off to them and to the pit crew. Kevin, in the meanwhile, staying very consistent as always, has recovered up to P3. He changed to the hard tires. Yeah, I think everyone pitting right now is definitely going to the end. But Nemesis' situation will be even more interesting because he can definitely pit. He has a free pit stop right now because he won't lose position. But will he attempt to go to the end with this little worn out mediums, or using the hard tires so that it will be safer to go towards the end? We'll see right now what the Mercedes decides to do. Yeah, he's pitting. Definitely needs to use the pit stop right now with the safety car. And he's going from mediums to hards. So Nemesis right now into P9, and he will be very close to Phantom once he catches up to the group. So I'm predicting we will resume racing on lap 9. Everyone on fresh tires, they will go to the end. Aston Martin risking it because they will be faster at the restart, but eventually towards the end of the stint, all of the hard tires, all of the hard runners will be faster. So it might be compromising. Felix has recovered up to P5. So his race is not done. Safety car was really useful for Mercedes right now. As we saw Oliver's car just spinning out of Dunlop curve. I'm guessing he got the wall on the left side, or maybe he had oversteer, he corrected and got the wall on the right side. It doesn't matter. What matters though is that he made 3 mistakes at pretty much the same corner. Maybe not exactly the same corner, but still at the axis. He made an oversteer, losing him the lead from P1 to P4, and then he completely spun, going all the way back to the grid, and the lap later he just straight up retired. And that's a shame, because his qualifying pace and also the race start was looking very good, but eventually he didn't have the consistency to keep the car on track. So down to 9 drivers. Marco DNFing will still be getting 1 point. Everyone else will, because I mean we're in the top 10. So no matter where you finish, you will get points. So Nemesis is finally about to catch up to the grid. We can see the McLaren of Phantom right ahead of him. And there we go, the safety car has finally re-put all the cars together. So we will see it coming into the pit lane in this lap. Lap 9 will be the lap where we resume racing. But the reigning world champion will not be leading the restart. It's gonna be his teammate Jeremy. Safety car in this lap. Jeremy handling the restart ahead of everyone. He's not going yet, but he's going now at the exit of the chicane, and it was a decent restart from Kartracer, being 4/10, so his reflexes were good, I would say. So normal restart for now. I'm not seeing any position change on him in straight. We'll see right now approaching the S section. Now the Aston Martin runners definitely need to get away from all of the other guys behind them, because they have the mediums, and they need to use the compound difference as much as possible and as quickly as possible. So they need to extend the gap to avoid having DRS from behind. But it looks like they are already doing it successfully, since Kevin is already 1 second and 2/10 away from Kartracer, and PC Willy in the Ferrari is staying very close to him. Will we see any moves soon? We don't know yet. He's getting closer at the spoon, but yeah, it's too early to make a move right now. But he's not using ERS, never mind. It looks like Kevin has a low downforce setup. I'm seeing moves between Jonathan and Pinky. Jonathan getting ahead of Pinky before 130R, but there are Nemesis and Phantom in the meanwhile going side by side at the chicane. Nemesis trying to get his position, and he tries to switch back around. He almost spins, and that was very close from the Mercedes. Nemesis having a stinker of a race tonight. Just a little bit of distraction on the throttle outside of the corner. It almost cost him the race. But he kept the car on track, but still he lost 2 seconds from the McLaren right ahead. That was very close, it was very scary even for me, I'm not gonna lie. PC Willy is still staying very close to Kevin, but not quite enough to make a move yet. We'll see if he... Oh, very close under braking. He needs to be careful and not hit him in the rear. Almost attempting a kind of switch back at the hairpin, with Kevin taking a little bit of a wider line. Aston Martin is doing a good job right now, getting away from the chasing pack behind them. So Pisewilly is staying very close R130R, but he backs out. He doesn't want to move. He doesn't want to do the move at the chicane, so he's waiting. He wants to be patient. I'm guessing he wants to do it on the main straight right now. DRS is enabled, but I'm not sure if he's enabled right now. But it doesn't matter because he's still making a move on Kevin, staying on the outside line of the corner, and gets the move done very cleanly, and is in P3, 2 seconds and a half away from the Aston Martin drivers. What about Felix? He's in P5 right now. He needs to get past Kevin as soon as possible so that he can chase Pisewilly and then the Aston Martins ahead of him. He's using the hard compounds, so he will be faster towards the end. Not right now, but okay, easily gets past Kevin right before the hairpin. And so now up next is the Ferrari of Pisewilly. As it stands right now, if Kartracer finishes the race in second, he will still be champion unless Felix wins the race. Right now, if Kartracer stays in P2, Felix's only chance to stay mathematically in the title fight is to win the race, or just be ahead of Kartracer. But right now Kartracer is leading, so that leaves him with even more work to do, because let's remember, if Kartracer wins the race, he wins the championship, no matter of Felix's finishing position. And they're just going so much faster than the guys behind. So the medium compounds proving itself being very useful for the two greenies right now leading the pack. But the grid is all stacked up at the back also. Looking from the onboard of Nemesis, we can see a lot of battling going on between the Ferrari on Jonathan, the Alpine of Pinky, and the McLaren of Phantom. They're all staying very close to each other. So right now, the closest battle we can see on track, it could be the Aston Martin, but being teammates I don't think they will fight. But I'm seeing the battle between Jonathan and Pinky trying to get the position. Oh, Nemesis is going very deep at the chicane and he spun! And he just went sideways through the last chicane, and race to forget for Nemesis, really. He definitely wants to forget this night as soon as possible. I mean, Aston Martin is still getting the constructors regardless of Mercedes right now as it stands. But I mean, even if I can't say exactly that Nemesis is compromising the constructors situation, because Aston Martin are just having a 1-2 right now, showing themselves very, very strong. But race to forget for Nemesis for now, definitely. Because he still has a chance of getting P3, because he's only 1 point apart from Jeremy in the driver standings. But but that possibility will be even lower after tonight. Pinky going side by side and overtaking Jonathan on the straight before 130 hour, and Jonathan still staying very close. I don't think he's gonna give up the position quickly. Felix and PC Willy also changing positions at the chicane. Jonathan attempting almost a switchback but doesn't quite complete it, and he will get the arrest right now on the main straight, and I think he will definitely go easily past the Alpine as he does right now, but Pinky is still staying very close, and so is the McLaren of Phantom. He's gonna be looking forward to mistakes from these two guys in front, so that he can get a position easily. In the meanwhile, PC Willy gets a 3-second time penalty at the Degner curve. That's 3 warnings, and that's 3 seconds added to his time. Although it won't lose him the position for now. He should stay in P4. I mean, but it's still early. We are lap 14 up to 27. Half of the race is done. We can't quite judge yet how the results are gonna be. So Felix has made a move on PC Willy. I saw it on the map. It was at the last chicane. Oh, and Jonathan losing position to both Pinky and Phantom. I'm not sure what happened there. I'm guessing he had a little bit of a spin out of the spoon. But Phantom is still chasing Pinky for P6. He cannot do the overtake right now at the chicane. He needs to wait. The RX is gonna be a much more viable option. He's using also the energy. He doesn't quite have a lot of energy left on his car, but he gets the move done literally at the last possible meters of the straight. But it was clean. So Jonathan right now into P6, and the Alpine of Pinky will be looking forward to regain that position. And so is Jonathan, because all of these 3 guys are battling together. But the leading pack is pulling off quite the gap. There is already 1.3 seconds from Kartracer and Jeremy, and 3.6 seconds from Felix and Jeremy. Oh, Jonathan crashed out of the hairpin! He spun onto the wall and he brings out the full-course safety car. We have another safety car. Race is neutralized as Jonathan hits the barrier at the exit of the hairpin. Just a moment of oversteer that turned out to be fatal for him, and that's his race done. But the gaps will be cancelled right now. The grid will once again be very stacked up. Kartracer is pitting, and so is Jeremy. Another double stack for Aston Martin. It might cost him the position right now. It might be very dangerous. Kartracer is going from mediums to mediums actually. Okay, so just changing for a fresher set, and Jeremy losing a lot of time there from mediums to mediums as well. Felix is going to mediums and take the position from Jeremy. So Felix right now is right behind the person he needs to overtake to stay in the title fight. He cannot allow Kartracer to win this race. It's his only chance to mathematically stay within it. Everyone is pitted for fresh mediums apart from Kevin, who is actually going for the softs. So we might be looking out for him being aggressive at the restart. And let's also remember PC Willy has the 3-second time penalty, so it might be a problem since the grid is restarting altogether right now after the safety car comes in. But right now the main contenders are right next to each other. The same contenders from last season are still fighting in this season. after an epic fight in season 11 that ended up in Kart Racer getting his second championship in Abu Dhabi. If Felix doesn't do well enough, Kart Racer will be a 3-time world champion. And Felix is a 4-time world champion, so he still stays ahead with the number of titles. But Kart Racer now at the peak of his career. I mean, I'm not sure if I should be the one saying that, because I haven't been for too long in F1 Total. It started a lot of years before I joined. But Kart Racer right now chasing all of the titles he can get. Safety car is not coming in this lap, so we will resume on lap 18. Alright, I thought it will come in this lap, but eventually not. I should do some, theoretically I should do some waffling right now during the safety car period, but I literally don't know what to talk about. And why was Kart Racer overtaking the safety car? What? Did Kart Racer try to overtake? I mean, he saw the safety car being an Aston Martin, so he wanted to overtake the other Aston Martin in front of him. Not sure what he was doing. Anyway, what do I chit chat about now? What do I talk about? I mean, right now, if Sully will be commentating, we will do the podcast, the same podcast we did in Monaco, just commentating about the most random shit ever. And so did Nemesis and Felix, still in Monaco, the Degenerates podcast. That started out as commentating it started as commentating the incidents of the Division 2 drivers, and then it ended up being a conversation about socks, toothpaste, and soup, and a lot of topics which I cannot remember now, and I cannot come up with new topics to talk about. Also because either way the safety car is at the spoon, so just a few more seconds, just barely a minute, and we will resume racing. So let's just hold on for now. For some reason there is a very big gap between never mind. Safety car is in this lap. Kart Racer will be leading the restart. It's gonna be crucial for Felix to get a good restart as well. He cannot afford to be caught off guard. He needs to stay aware, and he gets a very good start. Kart Racer tried to deceive Felix, but he hasn't worked out, and Felix already making a move on the outside on the main straight, and they almost bump wheels, they almost contact, but Felix has took the lead right now at the first corner of the restart. Very good start from him. He showed how ready he was for that. I'm not sure Kart Racer was expecting a start from him, to be honest. In the meanwhile, PC Willy chasing Jeremy into diagonal curve. We'll see if he dares to make a move at the hairpin. Not quite enough, that's too dangerous. But on the exit he could do it as well. Side by side they go after the hairpin, and they have pretty much the same speed. Is PC Willy gonna shaggy on the inside at the spoon? No, he's not, because Jeremy has retook the position and almost goes off track, clipping the grass on the outside. but we'll go back to the leaders because Felix had a wonderful restart, but Car Tracer will need to get that position back as soon as possible, while Felix needs to defend for his life. Car Tracer already got side by side at the chicane, and who's gonna be ahead between the Aston Martin and Mercedes? Jeremy staying very close to Felix and almost correcting the car at the exit of the last corner, but Car Tracer has retook the position, and Felix will not let the slide. He's gonna try on the outside, on the inside again, but no, he can't pull it off, and PC Willy is getting closer than ever, and so is Jeremy. We have 4 cars almost too wide at the S section between Jeremy and PC Willy. They're not making contact, but it's very close. So PC Willy with a very big oversteer, and they make contact. PC Willy has been spun around after having an oversteer correction during the S section, and that's unfortunate for him. He's gonna have to recover a lot of time. Jeremy was fighting a lot to get ahead of Felix and Car Tracer. We have 8 laps. He was very aggressive on the main straight, but not getting the position at the first turn eventually cost him some time, but he's gonna retry now. I'm gonna enable the telemetry to see the energy levels. Felix is on 65, Car Tracer is on 78, so Felix is definitely struggling a little bit more. Not using it right now at this straight because it looks like the slip sim is already doing his job around the inside at 130R. He pulls it off, he stays ahead for now, but what about Car Tracer? Will he attempt on the inside? No, he won't, because he's gonna wait for the RS on the straight at the exit of the chicane. Actually no, I think Felix has oh, never mind, the DRS wasn't enabled. It is enabled now. Lap 20, the third car they restarted. Car Tracer absenting on the inside at turn 1. This is very close racing, but Car Tracer pulls it off. They're changing positions every lap, and oh my god, this is so exciting. But every time they go side by side, I'm trying to look if they put it off cleanly or contact. But it was a very, very good move from Car Tracer, and imagine if they just keep swapping position until the end of the race. It is likely, because they just keep using the DRS straight, or the straight before 130R and the chicane afterwards. We'll see what Felix decides to do now, because the decision making in the overtakes is going to be crucial. It's going to be essential to know when to overtake and when to not overtake. Felix is getting extremely close. He needs to lift to not hit Car Tracer on the rear, and he gets the position even before the chicane, but Car Tracer is gonna attack even more at the exit of the chicane. Will he have DRS? Yes, he has. And now the speed difference will just show once again. Car Tracer attempting on the inside of the first corner, almost touching the front wing, but keeps it clean. He still stays ahead at the first corner. Felix is not liking this stuff. He always gets ahead just to be overtaken again by Car Tracer at the straight. This is definitely not what he needs to. He needs to stay ahead of Car Tracer. He needs to put the Aston Martin behind him. And let me do the math. Oh, PC Willy spun at Dunlop curve. That's unfortunate. Let me do the math real quick for the Constructors' Championship, because right now Aston Martin will have 40 points. Mercedes will have 24. Okay, so if the positions stay like this, Aston Martin are also crowned world champion. If Felix wins the race, Mercedes will gain 31, while Aston Martin have 33. Yeah, so Aston Martin, as it stands right now, Aston Martin is Constructor World Champion. But right now we need to wait for Felix and Car Tracer to decide that. I missed an overtake between there is battling, a lot of battling between Nemesis, Kevin and Pinky at the main straight. and Phantom staying ahead of everyone. Kevin losing a lot of positions there. As I saw, almost 3 wide at the start of the straight. Nemesis in the meanwhile has recovered a position, which he's good. He needs to recover as many points as possible, because Mercedes is not done. If Nemesis actually makes a comeback, Mercedes is not completely out of the question for the Constructor Championship. Pinky attempting a move on Phantom, already getting it done before the hairpin. Nemesis almost going deep into the back of Phantom, but luckily keeps it clean with a little bit of a front lockup. That was very scary. Pinky right now up into P4. He's showing a great pace tonight. He's having a good race, so hats off to him. We'll go back to the leading pack though, because Felix right now is 5 tenths from CarTracer, but let's not forget about Jeremy, because he's staying very close to that Mercedes gearbox. Although he has a lot of less energy to try the attack. Oh, and Phantom and Pinky going side by side at the chicane. Phantom re-getting that P4, but they are still side by side. And Pinky actually retakes P4 once again. And Felix gets P1 once again before the first corner at the main straight. Oh my God. Now I have to alternate between the leading pack and between the 4th, 5th and 6th fight. I mean, there are completely 2 groups now. There's the top 3, and then there's 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. Crazy battling between each other. Nemesis is staying dangerously close to Pinky. I almost saw the car touching him. I was scared he was gonna spin. Is he gonna attempt anything on the hairpin? Because Pinky is out of energy. Oh, they contact and they touch. Nemesis hits his front wing and sends Pinky also hits in Phantom. That's gonna be looked at by the stewards, and that's Nemesis race ruined once again. Such a race to forget for him. Pinky has no front wing. His race is also ruined as well. He's gonna be very angry right now. That's very unfortunate for him. Nemesis has a broken end plate, while Pinky has no front wing at all. That's very unlucky. But it's great news for Kevin and Phantom. I think Phantom was unscattered. The car is fine. So is Kevin's car. Yeah, the stewards are gonna look at it. CarTracer making a move on the inside, and now they go side by side into zone 1 between CarTracer and Felix, who was gonna be ahead. CarTracer takes the lead for now, but Jeremy is even closer than ever. Right now, they are 2 tenths apart towards the S section. CarTracer and Felix still are not done changing position every single lap. It's gonna be so difficult to predict who's gonna be ahead, who's gonna win the race. Is the championship gonna be decided tonight? We don't know yet, but we have 3 laps to see how it's gonna go. Felix still staying very close to CarTracer. He needs to get a very good exit out of the hairpin, but so needs Jeremy if he wants to get an even higher position than that. Because we know Jeremy, he's in P3 right now, but he wants the P2. He knows he can challenge for that P2, but right now the most important fight is this man. The most important fight is with this man right ahead, with this green car, with the number 43, who's looking ahead of a title tonight. Felix with not the best of exit, though after the last corner he gets the DRS, but he can't recover. He can't gain the time lost on CarTracer. I mean, he did gain a little bit, but not quite enough for the position, and that's already bad news for Felix. Because he needs to recover more. He needs to really watch out for the throttle after the chicane, because he needs the best of exit if he wants that overtake with the DRS on CarTracer. And Jeremy is still 5 tenths behind the Mercedes. so not quite for a move yet, but these three are battling so much. When they're not battling, they're chasing. And oh boy, they're doing that in such an exciting way. We are on lap 25. 2 laps and a half left. The championship could be either confirmed in just a few minutes, or it could continue next week at Texas. We'll see in just a little bit, because Felix is recovering once again at 130R. Not quite enough for the move at the chicane. Just focus on getting a good exit, Felix. Just get a good exit, because you need to overtake Kart Racer on the straight with the DRS. They are 4 tenths apart. He has the DRS opening the rear wing, but not quite. That's not enough. That's not good news at all for Felix. He cannot recover with the DRS. And they are both not using energy at all pretty much, so we will see both of them draining their battery to the last percentage of overtake mode during the last lap. Or maybe we will see that even before that, we don't know, but we are on lap 26 and right now Kart Racer, for now he is a 3-time world champion. And Felix's job is to not make that happen. Felix's job is to gain himself a week of time more. Otherwise it's over tonight. He's using energy. He's getting closer than ever to Kart Racer. Onto 130R. And now at the chicane, we're approaching the last lap. And they are very close at the chicane, and there was a very good exit from Felix. We might see actually getting the overtake done, which is going to be crucial for the race position finish. Is he going to do it? Yes, he is. Felix stays ahead of Kart Racer. He stays ahead, but Kart Racer almost attempted at the inside, but he had to correct an oversteer. That's probably the race winner done from Kart Racer. Felix with a wonderful move. I think he might have secured himself the race win, because Kart Racer almost attempted to get the position back, but he had to correct the oversteer, and he lost precious tenths of time and of distance to Felix. So right now he needs to push like crazy to get that position again and to win the race and to win the championship. This is crucial moment. We are at the last lap, almost running into the back of Felix at the hairpin with a very late braking, and that's compromised his exit of the hairpin a lot. But he's using energy, he's not giving up. These two are gonna give it absolutely everything at the last corners. Now approaching the spoon, who's gonna be ahead? Kart Racer is gonna attempt everything right now. He will have the slipstream at 130R. He will definitely use the energy. Is he gonna be enough to go ahead? We will see moves into 130R. He's getting close, but not quite enough. And now onto the chicane. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna attempt on the outside? They touch, but they are still on track, and it's very close, and Kart Racer stays ahead, and Kart Racer gets a better exit, and he wins the race. Ladies and gentlemen, Kart Racer has won the Suzuka Grand Prix and secured himself after an exciting last laps battle. Kart Racer, ladies and gentlemen, is officially a 3-time world champion. Oh my god, what a race, what a battle. That was so exciting in the last laps, fighting for their lives for that position, but that's enough. Kart Racer has gained more than 3 points. Kart Racer has won his 3rd championship in his career and his 2nd championship in a row, defeating Felix once again, and that's also Aston Martin's championship done. This man right here has secured himself and the team both championships. Amazing stuff from Kart Racer, showing what a great driver he is at the peak of his career, never giving up. waving the German flag, wave it all you want, Kart Racer, because this championship is yours. It's a German 1-2-3, but it is this man from Germany driving that green car, wearing that British green suit, spraying the champagne on his rivals, because this man has secured himself the championship for 3 times. Amazing stuff. And what a battle that was. There was such an amazing fight on the last laps. I almost lost my voice, not gonna lie. And yeah, Aston Martin gaining 40 points and Mercedes gaining 26. So 26, yeah, that's more than 10 points. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the last race of the calendar, but it is official. Kart Racer has secured himself the Season 12 Drivers' World Championships, and Aston Martin is the Constructors' Championship champions for for Season 12. Wow, what a race and what a fight! That was probably the most exciting commentating I've ever done. And man, and Suzuka once again showing itself as the best track to decide the championships. What a night! What a night! So Kart Racer can finally sleep well, knowing that he finally secured his 3rd World Championship. Not at the last race, but at the penultimate race, and in such a way that could challenge probably Max Verstappen in terms of skill. Such an amazing stuff for him. I am speechless after the race. That was amazing. So after being done with tonight with round 11, we'll wait for you at next week at COTA in Texas, America, for the last round of season 12. Both championships will be decided, but given all of the battles we've had today, not only at the top of the grid, but also at the middle and also at the back, it will be mad to not watch the next race in Division 1 and also the Japan race in Division 2, usual time Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. UK for Division 2 Japan. And then the last Division 1 race on Saturday at COTA, 6:30 p.m. UK, as usual. Thank you for watching tonight's race. I am so glad to have commentated this. Congratulations to Kart Racer and to Aston Martin and to Jeremy once again, and to Felix for putting an amazing battle as well. And also to Nemesis. It was a race to forget for him, but he's still part of the team that was fighting for P2 right now in the constructors. So good job to all of them. I am definitely looking forward to next week's race, and until then, goodbye.